For this lesson, you will need a plastic bag, scissors, tape, a ruler, a pencil, a bit of paper, and a plastic bottle or milk carton. Now, if like me, you didn't have any blank paper, you could always use the back of an old letter or something that you don't need anymore, but it will need to be blank paper. If you don't have a plastic milk bottle, you can use any other type of plastic bottle. And you will need a ruler. You all have rulers in your packs that were sent home. So let's have a look at how meteorologists measure weather. These are our weather specialists. So if we take rain, for example, this is a rain gauge. Now a rain gauge gathers the rain through a funnel and collects it in the tube. The tube then has the units in millimetres, so it measures the amount of rain in millimetres. Wind is measured by an anemometer. The wind is measured in kilometres per hour, and this device here needs to be faced towards the wind, and it tells you how fast the wind is that day. But we can also roughly estimate wind by simply looking at the movement of things. For example, trees. And you may have seen this. This is a windsock, and these are created to see how strong the wind is that day. We are going to create a similar one today. So our learning intention today is we are learning how to record the weather. And the first thing we're going to do is to make a calendar with the days of the week and the dates. Now, in order to do that, we need a ruler and we need to measure the page so that we know where we're going to draw the boxes. So we're going to record it for 2 weeks. So we need to half our page this way. So if I go to the halfway point on my ruler, now the length of this side is 21 centimeters. So half of 20 we know is 10. So it's 10.5, so 10 and a half. So I'm going to draw a line there, and that line will tell me the halfway point, so I can line up the ruler with that little mark and draw a straight line. So that will be week 1 and that will be week 2. Now we know there are 7 days in the week. So if I measure the length of the page, it is 30. Now the closest number to 30 in the 7th times table is 28. So I'm going to just move it a little bit up. Now, how many 7s can we get into 28? Well, we can get 4 7s into 28. So every 4 centimetres, I would like you to put a mark. So 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. So we've got a bit extra there. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 boxes now. So now I can draw the line. And then at the top we can draw a line so that we can put the days of the week above it. So it should look something like this. We have the first week with the 7 days of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then the bottom row shows the second week. Now you'll see I've abbreviated the days, so rather than writing Monday, Tuesday, I have put Mon, Tu, Wed, Thurs, Fry, Sat, Sun. It's just much easier to do. And this is now our calendar to record the weather. Now there are three things we are going or can record. The first one is the temperature, so I've just abbreviated that as temp. And we can get that information from the weather report, or if you do have something to test the temperature in your house, you can certainly use that. The other thing we're going to measure is rain, and that's going to be in millimeters. Temperature we record in degrees Celsius mainly, and the other thing we're going to record is the wind, and that's going to be on a scale of 0 to 5. So we're going to use scale for that. So you will need your bottle, so it could either be a milk bottle or a juice bottle. And the first thing you're going to do, now you might need adult help with this, is to cut off the top. So we should be left with this part, which is going to make your rain gauge, and this part, which is going to make your wind sock, which we'll use to estimate the wind for each day. So let's look at our rain gauge first of all. Now, a rain gauge is what we use to record how much rainfall there is in a day or week or month. So we're going to use this to collect the rain. Now, in order to measure it, there's a couple of ways we can do this. So I'm just going to show you how to use millimeters first of all. So if we have a look at our ruler, we need to have it the centimetre way round. Now, each big number shows centimetres and all the little lines in between show millimetres. So you can see there are 10 lines until you get to 1 centimetre. These are the millimetres. There are 10 millimetres in 1 centimetre. And so in 2 centimetres there will be 20 millimetres. In 3 centimetres there will be 30 millimetres. So we're counting these little lines to measure the rainfall. So you could measure the millimetres before you put your rain gauge outside by marking the centimetres. It would be quite hard to mark the millimetres. By marking the centimetres with, now it would need to be a Sharpie, because obviously if it's raining then it's going to come off. So I'll just show you how to mark that. Now I've got a whiteboard pen, so that's going to come off, but I don't, all my Sharpies are at school. So the other option is you could get a piece of masking tape if you have any, and you could mark with any kind of pen, you can mark the measurements on a piece of masking tape. So I'm just going to show you, if you did have a Sharpie pen, then you can mark each centimetre and then write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. Now the other option, which I'm going to use because I don't have a Sharpie pen and I don't have masking tape, but you might have it, is I will just collect this every day once it's filled with rainwater, and I will use my ruler each day to figure out how many millimetres of rainfall has fallen. So I have left mine outside, just outside my door. If you don't have a garden, you could put it outside the window, or if you do have a garden, you could put it anywhere in your garden. Now, so that it doesn't blow over, you might want to put a rock inside it, so that it holds it in place. So you will have to put rocks in it to hold it down, but make sure you take the rocks out when you're measuring the water, as that can affect your measurement. So I have left this outside for 24 hours, so a day, and I'm going to measure how much rain has fallen in. So if I get my ruler, and and I would put it right to table, okay, so that I'm getting the exact right measurement, and I can see, if I line it up, that the water goes up to 4 millimeters. I don't know if you can see that on the camera very well. So 4 millimeters of rain has. So the next thing we need to make is what's called our windsock, and we're going to use that to estimate the wind that day. So if you get a plastic bag, and I've just started here, and if you cut strips like this, so just cut into the bag to make strips. So you probably need about 8 strips, and each strip, if you get a bit of tape and stick it to the inside of your top half of the plastic bottle. So this is an example of a windsock. You could add some more pieces. The reason we're adding these is just to see how much they blow when we take it outside in the wind. Now we're not keeping these outside because we don't want anything to blow away and cause litter. So we just take it outside for about 30 seconds, see how the wind blows through it, and from the scale of 0 to 5, how strong is the wind each day. So I'm going to take mine outside and we'll see how strong the wind is today. So if I hold it out, I can see the pieces of the bag moving quite a lot. So between 0 and 5, I am going to say at least a 3. So I have recorded on my calendar the temperature, which I got from the BBC weather report. It was roughly 6 degrees where I stay today. And the rainfall, as I showed you, we measured using millimeters, using the ruler, and that was about 4 millimeters today. And for wind, using a scale of 0 to 5, 0 being not windy at all, 5 being really windy, I have actually put 3.5, which basically means 3.5. That's a decimal. So if you want to challenge yourself, you could also use decimals when you're estimating the wind power. So I would say that the wind was roughly 3.5 today. So we learned quite a lot in that lesson. We did a little recap on calendar to remind us what a calendar looks like. Obviously this one is only of 2 weeks, but we looked at the days of the week and how to write the dates. We also learned about how meteorologists measure rain and wind. We also made our own ways to measure rain and wind. And we looked at ways of measurement using millimeters, centimeters, and using scale between 0 and 5 for the wind power. We also looked a little bit at decimals. So have a think about how you got on there. Was there one thing that you found that you found quite easy and you were quite confident with? And was there anything that you think, oh, I could do a little bit more work on that? Maybe it was measurement, maybe it was your calendar. And give me some feedback on class notebook. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson, and you can record the weather every day if you can, and that'll give you a picture of what the weather has been like in a fortnight. Thank you.